Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, good morning, whichever part of the world you are in. Hello, it is Guide with PT3D, and today I'm going to try out some new stuff. Part of that is to check and see if the audio is working. I just got a new lavalier mic that I want to give a try. I've been experimenting with it a little bit on some recorded stuff. I'm trying to come up with some recorded content for all of you. That way we actually get back to the original format. That would probably also involve a second camera as well, so we can get closer views, because this kind of distance thing is a little bit problematic. Could probably move it a little closer though. I think we'll do that. Well, let's find a angle that works first. Boop. There we go. Okay. I'm going to do a quick check of the audio before I get started, because there's nothing more awkward than doing a live stream and talking to yourself with no sound. Hello. Okay. Is this working? Oops. No feedback. Okay, I'm gonna mute this for just a second. Okay, so it sounds like I'm getting audio from the actual camera and not the microphone. So let's see if I can adjust that. My apologies real quick. Let's switch to... No, it's not picking it up. Apparently it is not compatible with my other version. So we are going to just do things as normal. I'm going to take the microphone off because there's really no point in using that. I did get this one recently. This is a $30 microphone. Not sure what the quality is. I do know that it does sound a whole lot better than the microphone you're hearing right now. It's a lot less tinny. So I will have to revisit this. I can stream from the laptop that I just got the other day, but for right now, it's kind of pointless to do that. So why we are here today? Well, there's a couple things. One, the CR-10S is doing fabulous. I have zero complaints now that it's dialed in. Thank you to Paul from Where Nerdy is Cool. I'll give you a quick tour of the prints that have been done thus far. This is the TARDIS. I did it in orange because that's what I have right now. So the layer resolution is, I set it at 0.0 or 0.15, and this was with no supports, and I could not be happier with the quality of the print. This is done with stock settings on the CR-10S using Simplify 3D. So if anybody wants to see me doing anything with that, I can certainly do that. This is the Fang. It didn't fare as well as the TARDIS. You can see some goobers kind of in little places here. But by and large, it printed really, really good. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a weird ripple band thing going on here. I'm not sure exactly what caused that. but when I dropped it, I peeled it off the build plate and it popped, and it ended up hitting the ground and broke right about at the same point where this weird band is. So I'm not sure what caused that. And we also have the Batarang. You're familiar with the failed prints, but since they're prints nonetheless on this machine, I wanted to make sure that I included them. And I'm trying to get this print off so I can show this one to you. But I need a thingy-majigger to peel it off with. Apparently, I got some really good adhesion on this one. So we're going to do that real quick. Here we go. All right, and lastly, this is the new PT3D test maker coin thing, keyring. This is actually going to be designed for bench testing. So I was trying to come up with a design. I was trying to come up with a design that was going to work for my purposes. These are all soft edges, so there's either a chamfer or a having a brain fart right now. But yeah, anyway, so it's all like this. I was trying to avoid any big joints. That way, if I clip to this, I can use it for, stress to see how much force I can pull on it. I'm going to be putting stickers on the back of these eventually, or writing on them with the infill percentage and the temperatures and stuff like that. I'll be doing that for all the different filaments that I do. That way I can see what the consistency is and make sure that, I have a good solid test print, and it's got lots of functional abilities. So that is that. So yes, the CR10 is doing well. CR-10S is doing very, very, very well. Much better than I thought it was going to do. So that's that. Real quick, I know I've talked about these before. These are the little trophies that I created. This trophy is created with the CC3D filament. This is a product from China. This actually took quite a while to get to me to use. I didn't want to open it until I did a stream. Yeah, packaging is loose, so either there's a hole somewhere or the vacuum is not sufficient. So this stuff is silk feeling gold. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, like I said, I just kind of wanted to open it up in front of you. So here we go. The actual remainder of the roll is right here. It's very shiny, but it does print really well. I haven't had any issues with it yet. I've got probably enough on here to do a couple more trophies. I had to order another roll just to make sure I had enough to do a couple of the large ones that I got to do, and then the rest are the small ones. So not bad stuff. Not the most reasonably priced. It's probably it was right around $30 a roll, which I know most people are probably thinking, well, that's not that much. Well, that's a lot for me in terms of what I typically try to spend when I'm doing quick prototype work. So now, what I wanted to talk about today, before I kill the stream, is this wonderful project. I don't know if I've alluded to this at all in any of the previous videos. I don't think I have. I'm going to move some stuff here. Do some quick moving. I need to do some housekeeping because I am very messy right now. I've got stuff that I've been moving in. I've got stuff that I've been arranging. So this project was a result of this year's rocket launching with the Scouts. we had some issues with the typical ST's launcher buttons. So I did some research online, and I decided I was going to do something myself. It's for the kids, so I wanted to make sure that they're having a good time and that they can feel engaged in the rocketry. And we had a consistent launching mechanism. This is not, I don't have all the pieces yet, but I am going to show you what I do have. First off, this is the plate that I'm going to be using to mount the parts to. So like launch toggles, the buttons, the switches. I'll go into more detail once I figure out all the dimensions. There is going to be some handles, so I can open up the one side. There's going to be storage in there for the cables, and the cables are going to be quick connected to the back right here. So there's going to be 3 ports on the back of this right here, and those are all going to be quick connectors. So you can just pop them in, and then you arm it and power it, and then you're ready to go. So I have some soldering coming up. I don't know if I'll be able to do that on video or not. Well, maybe normal video. So this I did get from Harbor Freight. It's branded as a gun case. It is an Apache 3800 weatherproof protective case. It says it's labeled for camera equipment, electronics, tools, and valuables. I thought it looked like the football safe, kind of like the guarding the nuclear keys and stuff. So it's something exciting to do. This little adventure has been pretty much nothing but Amazon, with the exception of the case itself, which I did order a case, and it's not listed to be here until almost September. So I couldn't wait that long, so I got another case. What I'm going to start with is, this is for the battery disconnect. I wanted to have a key of some sort. I'm going to be using some probably 10 gauge or under wiring for some of this, because it's going to have a motorcycle battery, go-kart battery, whatever you want to call it, in here. There's also going to be connectors for a solar panel, which I do also have, and I forgot to bring, so I can't show you that. That was also purchased at Harbor Freight. I think it was $15. It's like a 1.5 watt. Nothing major, but enough to do like trickle charging and stuff like that. So this particular key, or heavy duty, battery isolation switch thingy, this key makes it so you can put it in, and now you have power. And then if you want to disarm it, you do that, or you just take the key right out. This keeps the kids safe while you're setting up the launch pad. So I thought that was it's got really strong terminals. So I was very happy with that. It also comes with an extra key, and it comes with a cap or a plug that you can put on the end. So there's one. I also had to take it a step farther. So laugh if you want, but this is an e-stop button. So obviously I don't want to tell you what an e-stop is, but it's not, there we go. So it's really cool. You can push it and then release it. The idea with this one was, it's a secondary. So if something's going on, like a kid goes running onto the launch pad, you just go and turn the whole system off, completely disconnected. So it's just mostly for looks, but it's also for safety. So, and we got to keep the kids safe while you're playing with rockets, especially if we start doing bigger rockets. So yeah, the e-stop. The next order was, these are from Quintessy. These are the momentary switches that I opted to get. They do have quick connectors on them, which I thought was pretty neat, so you can just kind of pop them in. These are lighted momentary switches, so you can push them, and when you push them, they light up. To me, that gives you like an indicator of, hey, launch pad is, that's the firing button. So you'll be doing that. I went a little out of order. I actually meant to do these first. These are the activators. So these are the arm switches for each launch pad. So you get switch 1, you know, you can flip it up, and this red light turns on. This lets you know that the system is indeed armed and ready to fire. And then, of course, you've got a momentary switch that'll be under it, and when you push it, it lights up. So you know that you're getting signal to the launch pad, which means that the rocket should be taking off as soon as you touch it. So, and then when you're done, disarmed, you know, and it's the same for all 3. And then all disarmed. So you could, in theory, launch 3 simultaneously if you wanted to. Probably not the way we do it. We'll probably have a launch station 1, and then kit will come up, launch station 2, you know, again, launch, and then launch station 3. So this allows us to do a little bit quicker turnaround. This should be pretty rugged and allow for us to get some really good launches. I think the motorcycle battery is going to be a huge step in the right direction. I was toying with doing some Arduino stuff with it, but I don't think I'm done. This is the volt display meter. So this is going to tell the system how many volts are left in the system to make sure we don't get too low. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I really have no idea. I got it because I thought it looked cool and I thought it would be neat to put into the system. So I'm hoping it works like it's supposed to. I did look at the specs online, so it should be fine to handle the load. But anyway, so again, 2 more of the momentary switches and more of the harness. And of course, the case. This was it says 3-set racing toggle switch plate. So it's rated at 12 volts, 3 to 20 amp. So I'm gonna have to be careful with the battery again. And then of course we have the wire. This should be sufficient to, I think this is 12 gauge wire. I mean, this should be sufficient to run from the battery. I have not decided yet. I may actually go with 10 gauge for the battery and then step it down to this and then go down to maybe 14 gauge, I think it is, for the actual launch controller, just to run it. I mean, it's 30 feet, so I may just stick with this, but this is ridiculously expensive. And the wire that is typically on those Estes rockets is basically speaker wire. So I don't know. I'm still toying with how I want to do that particular part. I got to get some alligator clips to do it. I'd like to keep this on the inside of the, at least at the minimum in here. But I mean, this is really expensive, so I don't know how much I'm really going to be able to afford to get. And then the last piece that I have for today is probably my most favorite piece, and this is for the actual launch wires. These are the quick connectors that I'm going to be using. There's 2 purposes behind this. One, it gives you a secure connection. I can direct solder and shrink. I can screw a hole or drill a hole in the back of this, mount it, and then you are guaranteed a really good connection with this. I mean, this just is going to plug right into the back of the case, just like that. And then you screw it on, and then you go to town launching. And I'm going to do this on 3 of them. So this is, like I said, there's going to be 3 launch pads all together, and they're all going to be quick connects. These are a little bit expensive, but I think it's actually worth it. I really didn't like any of the other connectors that I was looking at, so I think this is going to be the best choice for them. So, but yeah, this is the little rocket project. I'm going to probably talk about it on and off for a little bit. I may do some 3D printing on this because I haven't decided that part yet. There's a kind of a lip in here. lots of styrofoam, which I may leave one of these in here because I don't think it's going to hurt anything. I kind of like it. I may have to cut right in here out for the battery because the batteries aren't really all that tall. I could also go with not a lantern battery, but one of the kind of like the emergency light battery, or like the kid, electric vehicle kind of battery. So my idea is to put it in here, and I'm going to need another bin to store the coil, because I'm going to have to coil up these wires. I'm going to keep them all in here. I want this to be a self-contained unit. I may 3D print the spacers to put in here, just so I can do that and keep it nice, because I have to cut these pieces to fit. And my concern is that this is a gasketed seal. So there's this part right here. So I have to be on the inside of this flange. So I may end up screwing through this. I don't know yet. I'm trying to avoid that, to keep it as watertight as possible. As it is, I'm already going to have to drill holes for these. But I can get little pieces of rubber to act as seals on the outside of this. So that it'll keep it nice and dry. This has also got a vacuum seal system on it. So you can actually, get it into a bag. I don't know if it's actually for that or not. I think this is for shipping and traveling. But it does have a bleeder screw on here, so you can open it up just in case there's too much vacuum in here. So like if I go like this, I loosen it up and I push down, it should. It might not. Let's see if it's any difficult. No. So I don't know if the seal's good or so. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today. I just wanted to kind of, oh, you know what I could do? Oh my God, I'm stupid. This actually meets the contours exactly the way I want it to. This foam sits perfectly in here. So I'm actually, wow, I'm so glad I did the stream today so I could do this. So what I could do is to get my my angles that I need. So I can actually just take the this block of foam and maybe a grease pencil or something to that effect on a part that's not strangely deformed, and match that up and actually use this as my to mark it with. I think that might actually be a really good idea. I say that, but I always say things are going to be a good idea, and then weird things happen. So, but that lines up really well. I don't have a Sharpie on me. Well, I do actually. Maybe I'll do this right now while I'm doing the stream. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that doesn't look bad. I'm going to take a straight edge, just straighten that line out just a little bit, so we make sure we have a nice crisp line. But other than that, that is pretty much the end. I'm going to try, like I said, I am going to be trying to do some real videos. I apologize for the inconvenience that the quality has suffered from doing all these live streams and stuff. I know not everybody's into live streams. I like doing it because it's more of a vlog type thing, so I can sit here and just talk to you about whatever I feel like. It's unscripted. I knew I wanted to talk about the launch console, and I knew I wanted to talk a little bit about the CR-10S and the quality that I've had so far. And thank you to Printed Solid, because that really is a good printer. And when you have it set up right and you're using the right software, it's amazing how much difference that can make. So I'm going to cut it out. So I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't give up on your dreams. I'm not giving up on mine. And just keep creating and innovating stuff. But until then, it's Clyde, PT3D, and I will see you guys again soon.